Hi guys, thanks for clicking play. I keep saying I was going to do a quick tour of my lack of man cave, so that's exactly what I'm going to do today. Just to show you a bit about, the fact this is just in my lounge, and this kind of stuff I'm into. So the computer stuff, but also the other surrounding hobbies, I guess, because I know some of you share similar things. So let's get straight into it. So you're familiar with this space, obviously. So first of all, and this is all, I'm doing this now because things may change, basically. So this is the lounge, you can hear the birds outside, and I'll take you through what everything's doing at the moment, round to the main TV, which is on the PlayStation 4 at the moment, which we'll come to, and the rest is just DVD racks, and I'll come to that box down there at the moment, and the stuff under there. There we go. Can you hear the kookaburras in the background? So yeah, still got Christmas decorations out. And round into what's in the corner. This has sort of been changed around just recently. Oh, my other hobby in the garage there. There we go, we'll quickly get that in now, so that's out of the way. Just waxed and polished today. And so there we go. So let's quickly show you in some more detail what we've got going on here. So you'll be familiar with this space. So what we've got here, that's my PC, which I do the editing on, which is just the Acer, which I've done an episode on that, nothing special. You can see the retro speaker that's plugged into the Amiga poking out from behind there as well. The other one, separate set of speakers for the PC. And so we've got one monitor here, which is doubling up as, so if I press one of these buttons down here, and then press that one there, I love the fact that they hide the buttons now. That is now, wrong mouse. See, this mouse and keyboard is going to this PC down here, which you've seen in another episode, which is the Pentium 4. So that's quite cool because now I can do sort of stuff in XP. Haven't got any speakers plugged into this yet. But the main reason why that's cool is because that PC has a traditional comms port, 9-pin comms port on the back. So that is actually plugged into my A500 at the back via this, which I covered in another episode. And so I can transfer ADFs onto floppy from that. So that's what that's doing. And do you know what? One of the best things I've picked up in all of this, I have to say, there's some other pickups that I have to mention shortly. But this TV I picked up for $50, and it is a TV / monitor. It's an LCD. I've seen a few people have these in the background of their videos. I think Dan Wood's got one. I think Doug has got one as well, but I noticed those after I got mine, and then you sort of, when you've got something, you then notice when other channels are using them, and so that becomes the second screen for my PC, for my Windows 10 PC. So if I flick this one back over, I'll just reboot it. Boy, you know what a screen looks like. So anyway. That's what that is. Zoom H1 microphone. If I'm recording via, what is it called? OBS Studio on the PC itself, then that's what I tend to capture the audio from. Very good microphone. And of course you can use it as an MP3 recorder as well, so that's cool. And they're not expensive at all. So I pick up Godfrey off the Perth Amiga Users Group. I cannot praise them enough. They are such a caring and sharing, that sounds like such a cliche, but they really are. Just willing to share amongst the rest of the community here in Perth. So I picked up this for $20, so about £10, as a non-working drive because I wanted so I could use the external as an external Gotek, so that's what will happen with that. And there's another guy called Al who's promised me a Gotek that needs flashing for free. So, that's the kind of community it is. And there's another couple of things that I'll mention as well. And also I got off Godfrey a couple of boxes brand new. I've opened one already, but the other one for $10, so £5 for both boxes. Fantastic. So that's good. And of course, because I've got PC and Amiga stuff, I don't mind using 1.4 discs. I don't have a problem with it. Some people say the data won't last as long. 2 joysticks there, you would have seen them. So let's have a look at what else we've got in this area. First and foremost, I've taken it off the tripod. Here's my Scout Walker. So all the Star Wars toys you'll see, these are my originals. These haven't been rebought. These are my originals. I did go for a period back in the day, probably about the age of 17, 18, when I was into Warhammer 40,000. I was going to redo this as a Warhammer rig, so some bits were painted, you know, that's the kind of thing you did, because at the time it was just like, oh, it's an old toy, I can use it for Warhammer. That's my original AT-AT. I tell you what, as excited as I was about getting an Amiga 500 back, Batman pack back in the day, this was the big one before that. I wanted an AT-AT Walker for years and years and years, finally got one, so that's never going to leave my side. All my figures I sold years ago for an Xbox 360, as in sold them and got enough to buy a brand new Xbox 360. So that's why you won't see that here. This is all just videos and DVDs. I've got my original. This is, did I show this before? I do apologise if I think I have showed this before. So that's signed by David Prowse, but other than that, these are the pre-remastered ones. So I want to watch these again on a VHS player. I want to capture those. Red Dwarf we've been rewatching. There's the Amiga stuff. You've seen all that. Donkey Kong, original Donkey Kong. That's there. Needs new batteries because it's a bit thingy, a bit dark. Discs now. I don't know what happened to Alien vs Predator. Disc 1, but that's disc 2, that's the music disc, so that's there. And what I've also got here, the rest of these are just, you know, other discs with software and backups and stuff on, but that, I know I've got the case somewhere, but I can't flip and well find it. So that's that there. And what do we got behind there? Where am I going to put that? Up there. Put those up there. And behind here, just some more PC stuff that you might have not seen. Battlefield 4, Unreal Tournament 2004, got Amiga Forever there, and Wolfenstein. The New Order for PC is there as well. So that's that. The rest, is, again, it's just DVDs. More DVDs and stuff on the other side of the TV, so that's all those. You'll see a lot of car themed stuff, Gumball 3000, so that really is getting into my other hobby as well. Hot Tub Time Machine, such a cool, Father Ted, you can't go past that. Buffy, we went all the way through rewatching that recently. Farscape, absolutely love Farscape. Aliases, watched all those with the wife. So a lot of this, the wife and myself are joint into, which is great, like Buffy and Farscape. And Alias, Star Wars stuff. Now, a lot of this, most of this is mine. Some of this is the boys, actually, to be honest. Now, again, we're going across into my other hobby, so lots of car magazines, Top Gear magazines. I've got a letter printed in one of those somewhere. So that's all of that. Now, what I have... Yeah, we'll go to this next. What I have down here, back into gaming stuff, is a mixture of stuff that is mine and stuff that is the boys, because that's how it gets when you're a family. But this is actually from the other lounge, so that's where the Xbox 360 lives, which is their one. It's not my original one. That's their Xbox 360. So let's have a quick look through. So we've got Halo 4. That's theirs. Alien Colonial Marine. Now, this is mine, and you know why I had to get this? Even though this game got slated, I love the Aliens franchise. This wasn't given very good reviews, and I thought about buying it when it first came out, never really got around to buying it. I need to actually buy it for PC so that it's sort of future-proofed. The main character, if you haven't played it, is called Chris Winter. And when I found that out, I'm like, are you serious? I'm a huge Aliens fan, and they make a game where I am the main character. That is fantastic, because obviously my name's Chris Winter as well. So I just had to have it, and it's so bizarre being in a game and being referred to as Winter all the time by the other Marines as they talk to you. Actually, there's elements of this game. I'll do a separate video on this game actually, because I really actually like it. No, it doesn't have the best AI or the best graphics, but yeah, it is what it is. GoldenEye, as a family, we used to play that on the Wii. The reloaded version, if you haven't played it, on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 is fantastic. It's a really good rendition of the Wii version of GoldenEye. Duke Nukem Forever, had to get that. I've bought this game 3 times. PS3, then Xbox 360, and I've got it on the PC as well off Steam. Call of Duty, I think that's one of mine. Don't remember actually. No, it might be. No, I think that's a family game. I think I had it on the PS3. My PS3 died due to a lightning strike. That's why I got PS4. Borderlands, that's definitely the boys. Some of these were given to us by a mate of mine, JD, actually, further down. Oh, we got Crisis 2. That's mine. Haven't even played that. It was cheap, so I bought it. Gears of War. What else? Prototype, don't even know what that is, so that's definitely the boys. And then what else we got? We got Halo 3. One of the most anticipated games and one of the shortest. Halo Reach. Something in a offer case. It's a pre-owned game. It's another version of Halo 3. Because I think one of our Halo 3 discs got snapped. Assassin's Creed. Lots of multiplayer has gone on this house. We used to have 2 Xbox 360s, one belonging to one of my son's girlfriends. Halo Anniversary. I don't know that I've played that. That's the boys. Minecraft is definitely the boys. Prototype 2, don't know what that is. Forza Motorsport 4. I don't remember. Oh yeah, of course I've played that. Yeah. That's mine then. So Gears of War 3. Yeah, I just bought it so I could hack around the Nürburgring. Gears of War, that'll be the boys. That's the boys. Grand Theft Auto 4, that came with the Xbox 360, I think. So that's the boys as well. This is mine. When I had my original Xbox 360, I absolutely love this game, and so I'll do a separate video on that. That is fantastic, and I might have to involve the wife in that video because she loves it as well. No, that's one I got off JD. That's quite a cool game actually, based on the poetic novel Dante's Divine Comedy, the Dante's Inferno part of that. Really clever idea for a game. Viking, not played that. That must be the boys. That's the boys. And another Gears of War. Oh no, Bulletstorm. That's mine. And I haven't really played that much. Just picked them up as some bargains. Our local EB Games shut down, sadly enough. Anyway, so that's all of that. What are those? They're all car magazines. Just checking. Right. So, okay. Since we're on the subject of cars, then car magazines. There's a story to some of these, but not many. So that was a birthday present for my 40th. Ferrari 458, but obviously a track edition. That is obviously based on my actual car. The story behind that is, and I'll come to talk more about that actual cars as well, is that model actually came with these wheels. And the guy that I buy my models off, what's it called? Bongos Basement. No affiliation, but he's a good guy because he's willing to help customers. I told him what I wanted to do. I said, look, I want the Cayman, but my real Cayman has got the wheels that you've got on your Porsche 911 model. So I can't remember exactly what I was asking, but basically said, well, I've got a 911 that's damaged. You can have for nothing. So he sent me this for nothing, just so I could pillage the wheels. And like I said, he said it was because it was that. So these wheels are the ones that came on that model Cayman, okay? The damage is you can't even see it. It's a very slight dent in this roof. So he gave me this model for free just because I said I wanted these wheels, and then I've swapped the wheels over, so it's exactly the same as my actual car. In here we have more cars. That's a radio-controlled 370, which is slightly off scale to the rest of them. So a Nissan 370. The rest, most of these, okay, so when I say most, it's these three, are based off cars that I actually own. So I had a Nissan 180 SX, so that's as close as I could get to that. Mine was black, it wasn't covered in stickers like this, but that's a Nissan 240 SX, which is essentially the same thing, but a different engine. Mine was a CA18, not the SR20, unfortunately. Nissan 300ZX twin turbo, I've had one of them, didn't have big dub wheels like that on it, but again, close as I could get, and it was that colour, but not with a black bonnet. Just going to try and refocus there. There we go. And I've had a 350Z as well, but mine was a convertible and it didn't have a big wing on it. But and I've added that Z Club sticker. That's from the club I was in, so I just plastered that over this model car. But yeah, so that's why I've got those. And then these, my wife always knew I wanted a model white Ferrari Testarossa convertible, but instead of the 1980s one, she got me the 1960s, 1950s, 1957 Testarossa, and unfortunately it's fallen off the shelf, so that headlight's broken and the thing at the top there's broken, but other than that, it's a cool model. My niece, she bought me that Ferrari F50 many years ago, so I've kept that. And my mum bought me Nigel Mansell's Renault F1 car. So that's that, again, from years ago. Right, going across one more car and then we'll jump into more gaming stuff. A couple of Stig helmets, that's a car launcher, that's a car holder, as I said, there's some cars in there. And of course the Back to the Future DeLorean, got to have one of those. That was a birthday Christmas present from my boys. Okay, so what have we got in here that's gaming related? They're just music CDs. From the top then, Atari Flashback. This is the 9 and not the gold. And now I know not everybody's a fan of what AtGames have done. I have no problem with this. I never had an Atari 2600 back in the day, so I didn't need to have an original, which is why I didn't care about that. So that's that. The reason why I got the 9, not the gold, is because this second joystick you can use on the Amiga because they did the same plugs. So that's why I made a point of getting this model, and also the 9, not the 8, because it has an SD card slot in the side. So this came out the box. I actually don't have an HDMI cable plugged into this at the moment. This came out of the box with 101 games inside this. And then once you've flashed it, you can add additional games to the SD card. This now has 1001 games. Obviously there's a couple of double ups in there, but there's also a couple of interesting games like Strip Poker for the Atari 2600 and all sorts of other games like that. So that's actually quite a fun thing to own. Mr. Miyagi's just fallen over. Nintendo Wii, that's a family thing. I find it amusing that that's seen as retro now because it's never left the shelf in our family. It's occasionally we'll play Mario Kart or we'll play GoldenEye or something like that. Not so much these days, but it's never been decommissioned, so I don't see it as retro. And in fact, underneath there you'll see a Wii Fit board and some cat fluff, as well as some other cables. But yes, we've got a Wii Fit board as well. So that's that. There's my PSVR for my PlayStation 4, which is down here. Not the Pro, and annoyingly it's the 500 gig, so I spend more time deleting games than I do playing them because it really doesn't have enough space. I really have to put an external USB 3 drive on it, and we've got Move controllers there as well for the PSVR. So yeah, I'll do some more videos on PSVR because I do like that, and I know it's not retro, but at the end of the day it's my channel, suck it up. Yeah, if you don't want to watch those videos, don't watch them, it's all good, I don't care. So PlayStation 4 games, not very many, because I tend to just hold on to the games that I know I'm going to play or replay or just play. What's on the screen at the moment is a digital only version of Gauntlet. This is fantastic. If you're into retro games but you have a PS4, highly recommend Gauntlet Slayer Edition. It is brilliant. I really enjoy it, and you can do up to 4-player as well on the same screen, which is a rare thing these days. So very quickly, what do we got? Carmageddon, another good remake. I'll do a separate video on that. Mad Max, I like. That's cool. God of War, that was a Christmas present, haven't really got much into it, but that's a good game as well. No Man's Sky, I will do a separate video on that, so I won't bore you with that now because we've already been going for 20 minutes. Worms, another great family game. Everybody in the family loves Worms. Elite Dangerous, if you have nothing else going on in your life, then that's a good one to make time for. Project Cars 2, bought that simply because there was a competition among some of the guys on the Porsche forum on a certain track, so I wanted to be part of that. Doom 2016, haven't got Doom Eternal yet. Project Cars 1, Bioshock. Oh, I thought that was empty for a minute there. I love this. This is the Bioshock trilogy. One of my boys bought me this for one Christmas. Fantastic. I felt the need to drink rum while playing it. I don't know why. Maybe because of the nautical theme, but I played the whole trilogy. Fantastic games. If you've never played them, you need to play Bioshock. Alien Isolation, probably the best game in the Alien franchise, I think. Fantastic, even though it doesn't feature my namesake. It's an amazing game. Far Cry 4, enjoyed that. I would replay that. Such a nice open sandbox game, and very good for the current situation. The Last of Us, the remastered version. Funnily enough, I've enjoyed more remastered PS3 games on the PS4 than anything else. I really do think the library is a bit lacking. It's been a bit of a weird generation. Right, this box down here I will pull out, because this has the Wii games. What do we got? So again, not a big collection, but games that we play. Mario Kart, we play, can't even remember what was on that. Zumba, that's just for the wife. Wii Sports, definitely all enjoyed that. Force Unleashed, that was one of my boys' games. I've played very little of it. Sean White Snowboarding, we love snowboarding games, me and the wife, that is, and that was good for the Wii Fit board. Star Wars The Complete Saga, oh, Lego, yeah, that was the boys. Yeah, I didn't really play much of that. Wii Fit, yeah, you can forget that. Super Smash Bros, that's the boys, and they absolutely love that. But the best in the box, and I think this is a family game. I want to say it's part of my collection, but this is complete. So it's got the gold controller in there, and the game is in there as well. So that's fantastic. I think it was bought for the family, damn it. I don't think I can claim ownership of that. I don't think there's anything else really of interest in there, just controllers. So that is that. Batman pack you know about. I won't bore you with that anymore. Scout Walker I did say, didn't I? Yes. So over here, some more original Star Wars toys. This has sort of been repainted again during those teenage years as a restoration job that went wrong. But this was actually originally the one from Empire Strikes Back. So the Dagobah X-Wing, I don't know what the official title of it was. But so annoyingly, you can see one of the guns is missing. One's on the table there. But one from this side is missing, and it's the Stumpy one. So one of these was actually Stumpy because the stickers that came on this model had battle damage scarring. So it's a very particular X-Wing model from Empire Strikes Back, so they could resell you the same model, obviously. So it's a bit of a shame, and I actually don't know when that went missing or when the canopy went missing. Last I saw the box, they were there, and then the next time they were not. So that's a bit annoying, and that's quite a recent development, unfortunately. Snowspeeder, many bits missing. These were toys they were played with. What can I say? I doubt it works if I put some batteries in it, but I might try that one day. In terrible condition, doesn't matter. And some Micro Machine Star Wars stuff there. And then there is one more bit to show you. I talked about Gauntlet, didn't I? Yeah, definitely play Gauntlet. So out here is the study nook. When you hear the bell disruptor video, that's my grandfather clock, which is from the 1800s. But there's my laptop, doesn't get used much at the moment. This I haven't done a video on. I will do at some point because that's a bit ironic, the fact that I have that at all. And there's a keyboard there that I pulled apart and redid. I'll mention that again in a moment. Now, one more pickup actually. Oh, there's my tablet. So I mentioned that one before. That was thanks to Shane, and that will now be over time. This won't be any time soon, but this will be getting an A1200 built inside it. That's what I want to do with that. It'll be a long-term project, so don't hold your breath. But that's my plan for that, because Matt from the Perth Amiga Club gave me this. So this is an A500 case, and it's broken. You can see a crack there. So this will be the one that I'll use to see if I can squeeze a gaming PC, or at least a PC capable of playing games, inside an Amiga 500 case. I just want to see what it would be like to have a modern computer in such a retro form factor. I think it's a fascinating project. I know I'm not the first to do it. Other people have done it, but I just want to do it my way. So yeah, that's my plan there. I noticed lots of video jumps in this. So I do thank the Perth guys for that. They are really cool. So what I do want to say lastly is I'll put a link in the description. There was a video. RetroManCave has got a second channel going, and he's inviting people to do show and tells, and I did a bit of a spiel about that keyboard. So that's why I sort of pointed that out, did a bit of a spiel about that keyboard, and he used it on his channel. So I'll put a link in there. Please go and see that. I'm not going to put the footage on my channel. 2 people I think need to submit videos to Neil from RetroManCave. And that is Graham from the Commodore Cave, which is a Perth-based channel. Graham, you really need to show your stuff off to the world. So seriously, get a 90-second video. That's what Neil's after, 90-second video, and email it to him. I'm sure he'll love it because he's keen to learn more about the Australian computer scene as well, as much as you can fit into 90 seconds, about the Commodore scene in Australia. Did I say Amiga scene? I meant Australia scene. Definitely do that. And Dave plays retro games badly. Seriously, mate, you've got so much stuff to show off. Do a quick 90-second tour of your stuff and email it to Neil at RetroManCave. I'm sure he'd love to see it and feature it on his second channel. Yeah, I hope I'm not stepping over any lines, sort of saying that on his behalf, but I know he'd love to see your stuff, you two guys. So yeah, if I could get on, hell, you guys have got much better stuff to show off than me. All right, thanks guys. Bit of a whirlwind tour, he says, knowing it took 20 minutes. Hope you enjoyed that, and stay safe. Bit of miss of me, forgot. Slave 1 up here on the shelf above the iMac. Here we go, Slave 1. And this peculiar thing, which was never in Star Wars, but a way of selling another toy. So there we go, from Hoth, apparently. Slave 1, beautiful.